Well, Tata Motors has hit the production milestone of 5 million passenger cars today, incidentally on the day that marks the birth anniversary of Tata Group founder Jamshed Tata. What's more, the auto giant has produced 1 million of these cars in the last 2 years alone, even as it weathered the pandemic crisis and the semiconductor shortage. To talk more about the automaker's landmark in the passenger vehicle segment, its plans for electric mobility and the key challenges facing the industry, we're joined by Shailesh Chandra, the Managing Director of Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles, exclusively with me here on the record. Shailesh, many thanks for joining us here on the show, and congratulations on hitting that 5 million production number. I was just taking a look at the trajectory. The first million was recorded in 2004, the second million in 2010, 3 million in 2015, and 4 million in 2020. So, Shailesh, here in 2023, what's the target that you're setting?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Shireen, and happy to be on your show. It has been a momentous occasion for us, hitting this 5 million mark, and thanks for sharing the number of years that we took for every million. Yes, the last 1 million has happened in the fastest period of time, less than 3 years, actually exactly 2.5 years, as compared to 5 to 6 years that we took for the previous millions. As far as future is concerned, I think we have one very strong foundation of where we have reached in terms of our performance. In this financial year, we are hoping to cross 500,000, which means there is already a certain run rate that we have achieved. And I'm sure that the next 5 million, with the growth that we have in the electrification area, the new models that we showcased in the Auto Expo, with all that expanded portfolio that we'll have in very relevant segments which are going to grow fast and big in size, I'm sure that the next 5 million should happen in maybe less than 8 years is what I hope.
Okay, the next 5 million in less than 8 years, that is what you're expecting, Shailesh. But, you talked about that 500,000 number that you're hoping to clock by the end of FY23. So no hiccups there at all? You believe that you will be able to get there?
We would have already rolled out by now 500,000. By Feb, we would be left with about 4,000-5,000 to cross the 500,000 mark. So I'm sure we should be much beyond that number of 500,000 as we end this financial year.
Okay, so ahead of that number by the end of this financial year. You talked about your electric mobility pipeline as well as the electric mobility plans and also the expansion of the portfolio. So let me ask you today, in terms of both greenfield capacity addition as well as brownfield capacity addition and the current utilization rates, where do you stand today, and what kind of capacity addition can we expect given the portfolio enhancement that you're working with?
See, we already have a capacity from the existing facilities, which is the 3 facilities that we have, one in Pune and the earlier one in Sanand, and the new one which we have acquired right now is the new one. But if I leave that aside, and one we have in Ranjangaon, which is a joint venture with Fiat, if you know. So these are the 3 factories where we are currently making our cars, and already the capacity is to the level of 50,000, which at an annual level means about 600,000. This new capacity that got added by acquisition of the Ford plant in Sanand, that further adds to about 300,000, which can be further expanded to 420,000. So roughly, we are pretty much, as far as capacity is concerned, closer to 1 million mark, both PV and EV included. Right now, since we are in the generation 1 EVs, and now we'll be rolling out the generation 2 EVs, just to clarify and explain what is the generation 1, generation 2 EV. These are more converted products. As you have seen, the Nexon got converted to an EV, then Tiago got converted to an EV. The base platform is the ICE vehicle, which is getting converted. In Gen 2, we go for more intrusive modifications in the architecture so that then it can be further electrified with higher range cars. The generation 3 cars will be the pure EVs. So therefore, the generation 1 and generation 2 car pretty much share a lot of common parts and the common facility with the ICE vehicles also. So we have a lot of flexibility in the 6 lakh capacity that we have in the existing plant to make a lot of EVs there. And when we start the new facility in Sanand, which is the Ford factory that we have bought in the Tata Passenger Electric Mobility entity, This will also make ICE vehicles to start with, so that we utilize the plant faster. And also EVs in any case are being made in the other 3 plants also. But if I talk about the end state, yes, this factory would, I believe, would be doing mostly electric vehicles going forward. But that's the capacity picture.
Okay, so at this point in time, no need to add further greenfield capacity. You have enough capacity at hand. Let me ask you, Shailesh, since we are talking about electric mobility and your EV plans and Generation 3 product line specifically, there have been a lot of reports and speculation that you are in the market to raise more money. 2021, we already saw that billion-dollar investment coming in at a valuation of over $9 billion. Can you confirm whether you are looking at further minority stake sale to raise money at this point in time to fund the electric mobility plans?
So Shireen, I would not be able to comment on that speculation, but as you know that a year back we had already raised 1 billion and the whole funding got closed a month back or so. So we are, for the current few years, we are pretty well funded. Anything beyond that is a comment I would like to only offer at the right time. But at this stage, I have nothing to talk about on that speculation.
Okay, so let me piece together what you have said. A, you don't want to comment on speculation on whether you are looking to raise further money, but you also said that at this point in time, you are well funded after having raised that $1 billion that you did in 2021. So would it be fair to say that this is not something that's on the anvil, or not something that the company is actively looking at or considering at this point in time?
That's an interesting one, but I must say that I said that we are well funded for next 2 to 3 years. There are many other ways of raising the fund, including debt route, but we are absolutely open to going any additional route, and anything is possible. So therefore, I would not like to say yes or no, but from us, any formal comment on that will come at the right time, is what I would say.
Okay, so neither yes nor no, but of course that leaves the door and the windows open for all options, as you point out. But Shailesh, let's talk about demand now, and let's also talk about the product pipeline. What can we expect now in terms of demand? The commentary coming in from your peer, for instance, from Maruti, suggests that a 5 to 7% growth in FY24 is possible for the industry, given the fact that we're now in an era and an environment of higher interest rates, etc. What's your own expectation?
Yeah, I would definitely concur to a single-digit growth that we expect next year. Remember that it was a exceptionally good year, which was FY23, which we might see nearly 75% growth in this particular financial year. If you remember last financial year, it was at a level of 3.05 million. We should be ending this financial year at about 3.8. So a lot of pent-up demand which was sitting in the market has got released. The supplies have been stable. The semiconductor crisis that we had faced in FY22, that was not seen to that extent in FY23, except for few components here and there. So a very good supply and therefore release of pent-up demand now leaves less scope of a double-digit growth, I would say, next financial year. Actually, retail would be, I would reckon, about 3.7 million this year, so 100,000 less, which would mean that even the channel inventory is going to be slightly higher than where we started at the start of FY23. So I would also concur that, greater than 5% growth would be, I would say, still a good one, given that it would be touching nearly 4 million, which is a very strong market, I would say, gives a lot of opportunities to all the OEMs.
Yes, but single digit is what you are expecting, in line with what your peers have also said. Let's talk about the EV pipeline as well as the launch pipeline then, Shailesh. What can we expect in calendar year 23? The expectation is that we could see the Punch out in September. Lay out for us what the roadmap is as far as launches and the EV pipeline specifically.
We have made a statement that in 5-year period, now actually 4 years, last year we had made the statement, we would be coming with 10 products, and the distribution of 10 products were 4 generation 1, 4 generation 2, and maybe 2 generation 3 product. We have already launched the 4 generation 1 product. Tiago EV was the last conversion product. Now we are going to start with series of Generation 2 products. Some of them we showcased in the Auto Expo. If you see the Sierra or if you see the Safari EV that we, Harrier EV that we had shown, or the Curve EV that we had shown in April 22. I think these are the products which are going to come in the next, I would say 2 years, time frame till FY25 we'll have all these products. There are few more additional products which might come. Punch EV is definitely one of them, and I would not like to confirm a date on that, but yes, the intention would be that in the foreseeable future, and say by 2024 we should be able to bring that vehicle. But at this stage I won't confirm the date till we have progressed to a stage that we can confirm the launch.
Let's you and me step